Since the Industrial Revolution, society has relied mostly on fossil fuels for its energy production. These energy sources are known to produce substantial amounts of greenhouse gases, which are in large part responsible for climate change. The demand for energy has also been increasing, so in an effort to reduce the energy sector's impact on the environment, alternative energy sources are being developed and used. These include renewable energy sources like wind power and hydropower, as well as nuclear energy. However, these sources have their own drawbacks. The dilemma is whether these drawbacks are worth the advantages, or if the energy sector should continue relying on fossil fuels. Climate change has been a global concern for a long time. 1979 saw the first World Climate Conference. In 1988, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is created. In 1992, the IPCC opened the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change for countries to sign. Many agreements followed, including the Kyoto Protocol in 1997 and the Paris Agreement in 2015. One of the main objectives of these agreements is to reduce society's reliance on fossil fuels. While renewable energy sources do not directly contribute to greenhouse gas emissions like the use of fossil fuels, these resources have their own drawbacks. The supporters of renewable energy sources argue that transitioning away from fossil fuels is necessary despite the drawbacks. They argue that we have a moral responsibility to be stewards of our environment. Furthermore, studies indicate that despite their drawbacks, renewable energy sources are significantly more environmentally friendly. For example, a lab of the United States Department of Energy conducted a study where results showed that, quote, renewable technologies are between 400 and 1,000 grams of CO2 equivalent per kilowatt-hour lower than their fossil-fueled counterparts without carbon capture and sequestration. Another study showed that, despite being a finite resource, nuclear energy production contributes to long-term sustainable development. In contrast, the opposing argument is that the drawbacks of renewable resources make them unreliable and nuclear energy raises many societal concerns. Therefore, fossil fuels are still the best option. For example, nuclear energy, although effective, is finite and poses challenges in its disposal due to the presence of radioactivity. A major disadvantage of renewable resources, such as solar energy, is their intermittency. This means they cannot supply large amounts of power while ensuring consistency. Renewable sources also have other disadvantages, such as the loss of animal habitats and pollution associated with the manufacturing and disposal of solar devices. Across social media, renewable energy is often presented as completely harmless. Solar panels shown as, quote, zero impact, while renewable energy, electric cars, and energy storage systems are referred to as green. This is very misleading to the general public and is not representative of real-world environmental data. As for nuclear, it is used across 30-plus nations, and just 5 countries contribute to over 2/3 of total nuclear capacity. However, in the eyes of the general public, nuclear power is seen as dangerous and unpredictable, often overshadowed by memories of past accidents. The role of a professional engineer is to design safe, sustainable, and reliable solutions that protect the public and serve society's needs. Engineers must ensure that an energy system is designed and operated safely, whether it is nuclear, renewable, or fossil. 1. Evidence-based decision-making. Engineers must evaluate each energy option using real data to recommend technologies that genuinely reduce environmental impact rather than simply appearing green. 2. Considering complex trade-offs. As explained earlier, every energy source has benefits and consequences. Engineers are responsible for balancing these factors to design systems that achieve sustainability goals without creating new environmental or social harms. 3. Transparency. Engineers must communicate risks, limitations, and safety measures clearly to policymakers and the public. The goal is to stop misinformation while helping society make informed decisions about energy sources and their long-term sustainability. While energy will always be needed, its demand should not increase without careful consideration, as all energy production comes with environmental harm. To the extent that energy is required, alternative sources should be prioritized, as their impact on the environment is lesser than that of fossil fuels. This transition should also be paired with strict environmental policy to promote sustainability.